It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your grand reveal in Santee of this approximately 2,500 square foot garden space. Hannah is off on another one of her travel adventures, so I am behind the camera today. But yeah, let's knock it out and break it down. Okay, so this client was concerned about water use. He did have some artificial turf in here, but he also had a lot of other shrubbery, you know, kind of not unlike this over here. So maintenance, water, you know, all the things. He really wants to dial it back. So what we have here is a virtually no water garden. There are a couple of things that I'll point out that will benefit from a little drink once in a while. But for the most part, this entire space will be reliant on rainwater. And it is so pretty. You know, sometimes we talk about utility boxes and everyone wants to cover them up or try to conceal them with plant material. And I'm not one of those people. I don't care about them. And I'm focusing on it right now, so of course you're seeing it front and center. But when you come up on a garden like this, that's not where your eye goes. Your eye invariably goes to what's pretty. So I just don't think that the utility boxes are really a very big deal at all. I don't concern myself with them. This dry stream bed took just a half a yard of river rock. And then I brought in a couple of bags of sunburst pebble, and I sprinkled down a little bit of La Paz, the little black pebble, hither and thither. Ran a little bit of rubble through it in places. I had Bart from KRC staged 1, 2, 3 large boulders. The rest we just figured out with rock that we had here on hand, smaller rock. And I'm just really pleased with how this looks. I think it adds a tremendous design element to this garden. Since this is a specimen, xeriscape, there's no tapestry. And I do apologize for all of the noise. There appear to be helicopters and biplanes and all kinds of air traffic going on right now. So bear with me. All right, another thing that we did here that's a new thing for me is the top dressing. This client loves Cali Gold, so we brought in the Cali Gold 3/8, but we also brought in Cali Gold 3/4. And it's subtle, guys, but wow, I love this. I wove the 3/4 all the way through, from the sidewalk all the way back through to the gate over there. Not in a straight line, of course. It's thinner in areas, fuller in areas, but it just gives that, you know, that little something something. I wanted to break up all this Cali Gold. It's a lot of rock. You know, when a baby garden is getting its legs, you know as well as I do, in a couple of years, this garden is going to be popping off. It's going to have grown so much. But in the early stages, I really like to bring in rubble and run ribbons of, you know, varied color rock. That's burgundy lava up there. Add contrasting rock. And it's not a big contrast, but it is definitely really great. I love it. Love this look. Just kind of letting y'all take it in. So I had two baskets of rubble. One basket we used to line out the property divide. And I kind of glossed over that. So while you're looking at all the beautiful plants, we'll walk back over and take a look at how that works. The guys were able to knock out the rubble border in 30 minutes. So see, we have our client's property fully framed all the way through with just some rubble. It's a really, really great way to delineate if you don't want to go to the expense of hardscape or fences. Love that look. These plants, many of them came to us bare root. Some of them were boxed. So for the irrigation, it's also summer. It's not real hot, but it's going to get there pretty soon. What we're going to do is set this garden up and have the client water once a month for 15 minutes. Now, not all the plants are irrigated. The Millii, the Dracaena Draco, the aloes, the mangaves, the Degutii back there, my Rostrata, Pachypodium, the Longissimum, and the Portulacarias are irrigated, and that's it. Everything else, some of the agaves and all of the cactus are not. So we ran rings, and I showed you this, you know, to the plants that you know would benefit from a little hydration, and did not irrigate those that didn't. This garden had a really, really great natural slope. So I didn't have to bring in, I brought in 10 yards of soil, 10 and a half or so, but it wasn't so much to create mounds as it was just to make it a little easier to plant, because where the artificial turf was through the front here, the ground was as hard as a rock. Then we also had a lot of roots from a pine tree that had been removed, a melaleuca that had been removed. He had stands of bird of paradise. He had stands of agave, and you know, other trees throughout the years. So this wasn't the easiest, and we did need to use a jackhammer to sink some of the plants. Hannah, before she left on her trip, put in this gorgeous little barrel colony here under the Draco tree to frame out the dry stream. This was the client's request. He saw her work at the San Diego Fair a few years ago, and he wanted that look. So he got it, and it is just really exquisite. This aloe dichotoma here is another plant that I absolutely don't want watered. Aloes are dormant right now, and the last thing that we want to do is have their little feet wet. So does that mean you shouldn't water? No, you can water them deeply, but then no water for a very long time after that. It's really important for the soil to dry out in between waterings, and since we are on an automatic system here, that's a little difficult to regulate. So I just decided we're not going to water at all, not now. When we come into the rainy season in December, the plant will be fine till then, and then we will reevaluate in the spring and see how it's going. But I would rather err on the side of less than more. These plants can handle a lot of drought, obviously. What they can't handle is an overabundance of water at the wrong times. So if you're not sure, don't water rather than do. Okay, well, I really, really appreciate you guys coming along for this one. We were gone for a while because we were up at our property in Northern California enjoying some phenomenal family time and a little bit of R&R, but we have a very busy summer schedule to knock out. So I'll be back with some seasonal maintenances for you, and then I've got 3 more projects scheduled before we head back up for our fall trip at the ranch. As always, thank you guys so much for following and for your support and your lovely comments. It's always fun to read them. Have a wonderful day and a great time out in your garden, guys. Bye.